Welcome to another presentation of Under the Microscope. Today, I want us to take a closer look at the immigration dilemma in America. Immigration in and of itself is not a problem in America. The real problem, as I see it, with immigration is in America stems from immigrants who hate other immigrants. I know that sounds totally insane to some of you, but consider this. Once upon a time in this country that we call America, there came a group of immigrants from a foreign territory. These immigrants were met at first by Native Americans. Now, the term native means that the Native American Indians were already here. Now, these natives helped the newly arriving immigrants adapt to the territory and taught them crucial survival skills. As soon as the new arrivals thought that they had a good grip on things, they became greedy and selfish, and began to behave as if everything belonged exclusively to them. They began to abuse, use, and even kill the Native Americans who, when they fought back, were labeled savages. The Native Americans and the land were raped with impunity. Buffalo herds were slaughtered by the thousands just for the hides, and the meat on which the Native Americans thrived as a food source was left on the prairies to rot. The new immigrants pushed the Native Americans into boxes, I call them, of territories called reservations. This was actually analogous to a man moving into a house with a woman who already had children. And this man takes over the house, telling the children, "Go to your room and don't you come out until I tell you to." When that child already had rights that his father, who built the house, had given to him. After the new immigrants had assured themselves that all was theirs to do with as they pleased, they decided to go to another continent, Africa, and forcibly load African countrymen onto ships to bring them to America to do slave labor that the new immigrants refused to do for themselves. These slaves would provide the backbreaking labor that built the original American economy, yet they received no benefits from their labor. As America continued to grow and prosper, other immigrants would come this way from all parts of the known world in search of a better life. The first immigrants made sure that any subsequent immigrants would know right away who was in charge. The first immigrants became the, quote, dominant group and established their rules about who could enter America and who could not, even though there were no restrictions on them when they first came, after they had been welcomed by the Native American Indians without restrictions. The first immigrants later made movies about how the West was won, knowing full well that the West was not won, it was taken by bigoted oppression and slaughter. A, quote, government was established to make sure that the first immigrants kept the best resources for themselves and gave scraps, if that, to the so-called lesser immigrants. The first immigrants have become so insecure, they are resorting to, quote, power grabs of the lowest order, lying and cheating their way through everything, creating so-called laws that gave them the so-called advantage, an advantage that they had not earned. The first immigrants have forgotten, or at least they hope that everyone else has forgotten, that they are still immigrants just like the rest of us who came from somewhere other than America, regardless of how or under what circumstances we arrived. The only way we can become the land of the free and the home of the brave is to come to grips with the undeniable fact that America belongs to all of us and not just a select few of us who have absolutely no idea who or how America really became America. Just another Mackian observation. Thanks for listening. Follow me on Facebook at Under the Macroscope. You may also follow me on YouTube at MacRay. Please subscribe and share. And if you wish, you can make a contribution of your choosing by using the QR code on the screen. You may also write to me at MacRay, P.O. Box 403, Pineville, North Carolina, 28134. See you next time. And remember, under the macroscope, we take a closer look.